Thank you for tuning in to Wicked Turtle Network exclusive. Follow us on all social media and also click the link tree in the description of this video.
What is up, Wicked Turtle Nation? We just wanted to let you guys know that Wicked Turtle Network has decided to join the Raise Rebellion as brand ambassadors for Raise Energy Drink. Raise Energy gives you fresh, and that stands for focus, recovery, energy, stamina, and hydration. With zero sugar, absolutely no crash, electrolytes, and BCAA aminos. I encourage everyone listening or watching right now to raise up and join the Raise Rebellion yourself by going to your local GNC, vitamin shop, or even online at repsports.com and order yourself some Raise energy drinks or other athletic supplements in bulk. And when checking out, use the order code WICKEDTURTLE for a 15% discount. The website and order code will be in the description of this cast. Hey divers and Wicked Turtle Nation, how are you? I left you hanging for a week here with some tooth pain, but I'm going to catch you right back up here. This is going to be a little bit longer of an episode. I got 2 weeks stuff to go through, so just bear with me here. I'll try to get through it quick and painless as this tooth extraction was. Let's go on here. Just wanted to update y'all on the WWE draft here. This is part 2 of the draft. If you didn't catch up on part 1, that was on the last episode of the dive. Go back and check on that, and don't mind Razor Ramon up there on the corner. So we're gonna start off heavy with the WWE draft part 2. Round 1, Raw chose Becky Lynch and Bobby Lashley. Then SmackDown chose the Usos and Sasha Banks. I don't know where they get off being able to choose a tag team or a singles competitor. I don't know who makes these rules up or if they were put down somewhere where I missed them, but I guess you can pick a whole team or one person, or I don't know. It's WWE. Round 2, Raw chose Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. SmackDown chose Nakamura and Sheamus. Round 3, Raw chose AJ Styles and Osmosis Jones. That guy, and Kevin Owens. SmackDown chose Shayna Baszler and Xia Li. Shayna Baszler and Xia Li. Round 4, Raw chose the Street Profits and Finn Balor. SmackDown chose the Viking Raiders and Ricochet. Round 5, Raw chose Karrion Kross and Alexa Bliss. SmackDown chose Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza and Cesaro. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza as the team, then Cesaro. I didn't know they were tagging either. I feel so much I know about WWE. Raw on round 6 chose Carmella and Gable and Stevenson. SmackDown chose Ridge Holland and Sami Zayn. Now these are just extras here. I don't understand this part because Raw got to choose a hell of a lot here, and then SmackDown only got so many. So let's go here. Raw got Liv Morgan, Tamina, Dana Brooke, Dolph Ziggler, Cedric Alexander, Mia Yim, Tegan Knox, The Miz, Robert Roode, Shelton Benjamin, and Jackson Riker. And SmackDown got Natalya and Shotzi Blackheart. Like I said, I don't understand why Raw got a whole baker's dozen amount of extra workers there, and SmackDown only got 2, but I digest. To catch y'all up on the King of the Ring here, I'm filming this on Sunday the 17th here, and the Queen's Crown and the King of the Ring is going to finish up on Thursday at the Crown Jewel event. Well, at least they kind of make it a, you know what I mean, makes sense with the Crown Jewel. I'm not too thrilled on the concept of the Crown Jewel myself, especially, you know, we got a lot of money bringing in dead wrestlers, blood money bringing in a lot of dead wrestlers. They want AEW wrestlers and dead wrestlers, and, you know, whatever. That's all gonna congeal here, and it's gonna make sense here. I hope. Well, we got King of the Ring. We had Sami Zayn beating out Rey Mysterio, Xavier Woods beating out Ricochet, Finn Balor beating out Cesaro, and Jinder Mahal beating out Kofi Kingston. So, what we're going to have here is, oh, and then on SmackDown, Finn Balor beat Sami Zayn. So whoever wins out of Xavier Woods and Jinder Mahal coming up on Monday here is going to face Finn Balor on Thursday for the conclusion of King of the Ring. Then for Queen's Crown, we had Zelina Vega beating out Toni Storm. We had Liv Morgan beating out Carmella. We had Shayna Baszler beating out Dana Brooke. So, and Zelina Vega beat Liv Morgan on SmackDown. So, whoever wins out of Doudrop and Shayna, oh, excuse me, yeah, whoever wins out of, I said that wrong, the other one, Doudrop beat Natalya. Whoever wins out of Doudrop and Shayna Baszler is going to face Zelina Vega for Queen's Crown on Thursday. And for that, that's the WWE section. Right here, before we go into the 2 weeks worth of wrestling intake here for the week, I have a couple different things. Friend of the show here, my buddy Jay, he asked me to give my thoughts on the big death match that happened over the past weekend here. Jon Moxley versus Nick Gage. I gotta tell you, man, words can't do that one justice. It was a great match. Historical to see Mick Foley in the ring there, not only in the ring but commentating. You know, this match had big time implications, quality wise, production wise. You know, you had replays and everything else, slow motion. I mean, it was pretty freaking snifty for deathmatch show. These guys threw everything in the kitchen sink at each other. I don't think anybody's going to be questioning whether Jon Moxley can do real deathmatch shit anymore. He lives for this stuff, man. You see that. It doesn't matter to him if he's on AEW doing the main event stuff. It does, you know, and he'll do that kind of deathmatch stuff. It's awesome. A lot of people don't like deathmatch. They're definitely against deathmatch. I tend to like it. Like it quite a bit. But we have seen Jon Moxley not only holding through here in this match, but winning, retaining, and holding up GCW as a company, as their champion. And hey, man, Jon Moxley out there killing it in death matches in 2021. I just hope to see him do it against some some other people. There's a lot of people I'd like to see him mix it up with as a death match, in a death match. 3 off the top of my head, top 3: G Raver, Alex Colon, Eric Ryan. Come on, baby, let's see that shit. Well, that's it for that one, and that was a special request by my buddy Jay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your honest criticism. Continue watching, my friend. Next up here, before I move on, is Knockouts Knockdown from 2021. So it was a pretty good side little pay-per-view mainstay event for Impact Wrestling here, which featured a women's only what do they call it, Monsters Ball match. That was a pretty historic match through Impact's history, and to see a woman's only version was really cool. So let's get in here. First off, we had Rachel Ellering defeating Lady Frost. We then had Chelsea Green defeating Renee Michelle. We had Mercedes Martinez defeating Brandy Lauren. We had Tasha Steelz defeating Jamie Senegal. Jamie Senegal, longtime friend of the Smart Mark Alley. We've got to know her long time. We've got to know her over the past long 5-6 years that we've been watching independent professional wrestling. We've seen her grow. Awesome to see her on a card like this, man. Real cool. We had Deonna Purrazzo defeating Masa Slamovich. Had Mercedes Martinez defeating then Rachel Ellering. We had Tasha Steelz defeating Chelsea Green. We have a very awesome Kong Hall of Fame speech here. Worth checking that out if that ain't on the old YouTubes, which I'm sure it might be at this point. Then we had the women's only Monster Ball match. We had, we had Savannah Evans winning the Monsters Ball match. She was in there with Kimberly, Alicia, and Jordan Grace. She won the Monsters Ball match. We had Mercedes Martinez taking on and defeating Tasha Steelz in the conclusion to the Knockouts tournament. Mercedes Martinez wins the match, wins the Knockouts Knockdown Tournament 2021. And then the main event, we seen Decay win and retain their title, Impact Women's Tag Team Championship titles against The Influence. And last but not least, one more thing before I jump into my results and ups and downs from the week is my discussion topic of the week. This week was 5 of the best King of the Ring winners of all time. Top 5 King of the Ring winners for me would have to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, William Regal, Stone Cold Steve Austin, William Regal, Booker T, Bret Hart, Owen Hart. That's my top 5. I'd like you guys to name your top 5 best King of the Ring winners here. And next week's topic, the topic of discussion for next week will be because of your crown jewel, and that's kind of like, hey, there's somebody willing to put a boatload of money out here to make this once in a year type event go on. How much money do I need to put into it to make these matches happen? So my discussion topic of the week is if you could add one match to that and money wasn't an option, and hell, you could get anybody. Shit, they're asking for dead wrestlers and AEW stars. So if you could make a match for that involving anybody that is alive and going, anyone in the game from any company, make one match. That's my discussion topic of the week. Make one match from anybody working As long as they're actively working, I don't care where they're working for. How high or how low on the totem pole they are. Make a match for me. That's next week's discussion topic. This week, answer 5 top King of the Ring winners below in the comments. And don't forget, like I said, next week, make a match for me. Alright, y'all, so for the second and last week, the week I missed out on, AEW Dark Elevation from the 4th of October. We had Emi Sakurai defeating Sky Blue. We had Wardlow and Shawn Spears defeating Marco Stunt and Fuego del Sol. We had Lance Archer defeating Louis Bruno. We had Abaddon defeating Vienno. We had Santana and Ortiz defeating the Patiri. I know they had different names, but I didn't know what to call them, what it was, but they're the Patiri. We had Chris Statlander defeating Becca. We had the Acclaimed defeating Colin Delaney and Cheech. We had FTR defeating Elijah Dean and Zach Nesjova. And we had Sonny Kiss defeating KM. For AEW Dark on the 5th of October, we had the Pinnacle defeating Austin Green, Dean Alexander, Baron Black, and Aaron Fry. We had Abaddon defeating Valentina Rossi. I think that was the other, yeah, I'm pretty sure. We had the Acclaim defeating Michael Martinez and Very Morales. We had Sonny and Kiss defeating Cal Hero. We had Chris Statlander defeating Zeta Zhang. We had Sky Blue defeating Matty Rankowski. Eddie Kingston defeating Anthony Henry. Gun Club defeating Hunter Knott, Rosario Grillo, and Cameron Stewart. I had the Varsity Vaughns defeating the Wingmen. Daniel Garcia defeated Eric Lockhart. Serpentico defeated Marco Stunt. Orange Cassidy defeated Nick Camarado. And before the Impact for the 5th, we had John Skyler defeating Zicky Dice. Crazy Steve defeating Hernandez. And Laredo Kid defeating Matthew Rayholt. For the mainstay shows, the shows that will be rated. NXT. We had Mandy Rose defeating Ember Moon. That was a down. We had LA Knight defeating Odyssey Jones. That was an up. Joe Gacy defeating Ikemenjiro. That was an up. Cora Jade defeating Frankie Monet. Big Frankie Monet fan. That was a down. Pete Dunne defeating Cameron Grimes. That was a down. We had Tony D'Amello. What was his name? Defeating Malik Blade. That was an up. We had Indy Hartwell defeating Mei Ying. That was a down. Show almost got a down, but we'll give it an up. Show gets an up. NXT gets an up. AEW Dynamite from the 6th. We had the Super Click defeating Brian Danielson, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage. That was down. We had Sammy Guevara defeating Bobby Fish. As much as I didn't like him defeating Miro, this was a good match for him. Up. Match of the show. Oh yeah, the MSK versus Briggs and Jensen and Grizzled Young Veterans versus Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams on NXT was MSK in a one fatal 4-way tag match. That wasn't up, and that was my star of the show for NXT. I'm sorry about that. I didn't catch that match. We had AEW Dynamite on the 6th. Like I said, the Super Click defeating Jungle Express and Bryan Danielson. That was a down. Sammy Guevara's match was an up. We had Serena Deeb defeating Hikaru Shida. That was a down. And then we had Hangman Page winning the Casino Battle Royale. That was a double up in my match of the show. AEW Dynamite gets from the 6th gets an up. Then we had Impact from the 7th. We had Chris Bay, Hikuleu, and El Fantasma defeating Finjuice and Chris Sabin. This was an up. We had Tasha Steeles, Savannah Evans, and Mercedes Martinez defeating Lady Frost, Kimberly, and Brandy Loren. This was an up. We had Steve Macklin defeating Black Taurus and Petey Williams. This was an up. We had Mandy Lemons and Zicky Dice defeating Rich Swann and Willie Mack. This was a down. We had Josh Alexander and Christian Cage defeating Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. This was an up in my match of the show. Impact from the 7th gets an up. Then we had AEW Rampage on the 8th. We had CM Punk defeating Daniel Garcia. That was an up. Star of the show. We had Lucha Brothers defeating the Acclaimed. This was a down. We had Jade Cargill defeating Sky Blue. This was an up. Ricky Starks defeating Brian Cage. This was an up. AEW Rampage from the 8th was an up. Then we had ROH to close out this week. We had SOS defeating Dalton Castle and Dak Draper. This was an up. Willow Nightingale defeating Miranda Alizé and Angelina Cole. This was an up. And my star of the show. We had OGK defeating Rey Horez and Bandito. This was an up. ROH gets an up. So for the week of the 4th to the 9th or whatever, my match of the week was the Casino Battle Royale. My MVP of the weeks for men, Hangman Adam Page. Team, MSK. Woman, Willow Nightingale. TV show of the week, AEW Dynamite. Now I move on to the latest week going up, and we'll let you all get back to what y'all were doing before you clicked on the dive. We had AEW Dark Elevation from the 11th. We opened up with Penelope Ford defeating the Notorious Mimi. Santana and Ortiz defeating Adrian Sereno and Matthew Omen. FTR defeating Lee Moriarty and LSG. Tay Conti defeating Danny Moe. Hey, Danny Moe, friend of the show. We had Joey Janela defeating Crowbar. Ruby Soho defeating Emi Sakurai. The Butcher, the Blade, and Private Party defeating Brock Anderson. Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta. Then, for AEW Dark on the 12th, we had Captain Sean Dean defeating Andrew Lockhart. And Kylan King defeating Ashley Dubois. We had Wardlow defeating Darian Benston. Evil Uno defeating Anthony Green. NXT from the 12th. This is where we're going to start rating stuff. We had Tommaso Ciampa defeating Joe Gacy. This was an up. That was an up and my star of the show. We had Zion Quinn defeating Valentina Ross. This was an up. We had Julius Creed defeating Ikemen Jiro. This was a down. We had Kyle O'Reilly defeating we had Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner defeating Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. This was an up. We had Duke Hudson defeating Grayson Waller. This was a down match. We had Isaiah Swerve Scott defeating Santos Escobar. This was an up. But with a cash-in from him having a cash-in was Carmelo Hayes becoming the new North American champion. This was an up. Before the Impact, we had Falaba defeating Hernandez. And then for Impact on the 14th, we had El Phantasmo defeating Rohit Raju and Willie Mack. This was an up and my star of the show. We had Savannah Evans defeating Lady Frost. This was an up. We had Rich Swann defeating VSK. This was an up. Chris Sabin defeating Chris Bay. This was an up. We had W. Morrissey winning a Battle Royale. This was also an up. Impact from the 14th was an up. We had a Rampage pre-show from the 15th. A rare Rampage pre-show. We had Tay Conti defeating Santana Garrett. This was an up. Bobby Fish defeating Lee Moriarty. This was an up. And Bryan Danielson defeating Minoru Suzuki. Triple up. Even though I wasn't supposed to rate any of that because it was a pre-show. Oops. Rampage from the 15th. We had CM Punk defeating Matt Sydal. This was an up. Ruby Soho defeating the Bunny. This was an up. American Top Team defeating the Inner Circle. This was a down. Rampage for the 15th was definitely an up. Then we had AEW Dynamite for the 16th. We had Malachi Black defeating Dante Martin. This was an up, especially because Malachi gave him some respect at the end there. We had FTR defeating Lucha Brothers. This was an up. We had John Moxley defeating Wheeler Yuta. This was a down. We had Penelope Ford defeating Kiera Hogan. This was an up. We had Penelope Ford defeating Kiera Hogan. This was an up. We had Bryan Danielson defeating Bobby Fish. This was an up and my star of the show. AEW Dynamite from the 16th gets an up. Ring of Honor for the 16th of October. We had Kenny Kingston and Dragon Lee from La Fashion Ingobernales defeating SOS, which was Moses and Khan from Shane Taylor Promotions. This was an up. Then we had the Foundation, Gresham, Jonathan Gresham, Jay Lethal, Tracy Williams, and Rhett Titus defeating the world-famous CB, Joe Keys, Taylor Rust, and Eli Isom. This was an up and my star of the show. ROH from the 16th was an up. Yeah, so real quick, my MVP of the week for men would have to be Bryan Danielson. My team, well, that'd have to be FTR. And my woman MVP of the week would have to be Penelope Ford. Promotion of the week, AEW Rampage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the dive this week. I appreciate you all sticking with me, and I apologize for last week here for not giving you guys your daily dose of the dive, and I hope you all join me next week for another episode of the dive. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Wicked Turtle Network exclusive. Follow us on all social media, and also click the link tree in the description of this video.
What is up, Wicked Turtle Nation? We just wanted to let you guys know that Wicked Turtle Network has decided to join the Raise Rebellion as brand ambassadors for Raise Energy Drink. Raise Energy gives you fresh, and that stands for focus, recovery, energy, stamina, and hydration. With zero sugar, absolutely no crash, electrolytes, and BCAA aminos. I encourage everyone listening or watching right now to raise up and join the Raise Rebellion yourself by going to your local GNC, vitamin shop, or even online at repsports.com. And order yourself some Raise Energy drinks or other athletic supplements in bulk. And when checking out, use the order code WICKEDTURTLE for a 15% discount. The website and order code will be in the description of this cast.